Yes, I know. Another Star Wars The Old Republic video. Guys, I don't even want to hear it from you anymore. At this point, you guys seem to be loving the SWTOR content recently, and I'm happy to make it, but I just want to let you know, I'm still playing other games. I know WoW has an expansion that's basically about to drop here in the next like 10 days or something like that, whatever. It might have actually already dropped, I don't even know. But I honestly can't help but revisit and continually play this game. And recently, I've just been on a massive nostalgia trip, and basically, I'm like, I don't know, a dad who's like, oh my god, kids grow up so fast. This is basically how I feel about Star Wars The Old Republic, and I want to share these top 5 locations with you guys that you absolutely have to visit. Some you kind of have to go to depending on how you play the game, but even just as a refresher or as a place to explore and just chill. These were places that I spent a lot of my teen years playing, and it was one of the best experiences and some of the greatest memories I ever had. So I want to break them down for you, and you're gonna hear me say the same answer for most of these because it's true. So without further ado, let's jump into my top 5 locations you must visit in Star Wars The Old Republic. Alright you guys, coming in here at number 5, it's the Jawa Balloon. You can go over and find this place. It's down in the Dune Sea. If you are going towards or like kind of like out of like outpost Thorazin, I believe, you basically are going south and west. So the southwest portion of the map, basically the end of the world, the bottom corner, you can find the Jawa Balloon. You can jump on it actually, and it actually takes you to a Datacron location, I believe. It's a really cool achievement to do once you have done it, and I remember just spending a lot of time here with my friends talking and trying to get the achievement and conducting like some like role play events here. Like it was a great time. It has a lot of like cool screenshot potential. It's really just surreal because it's Tatooine. It's arguably the most iconic planet in all of Star Wars, and it's cool that 10 years later we can still go back and enjoy being on the planet with our own characters, being us whenever we want. I think that's just so cool about this game, and something that is very underrated and not, very much thought about when we talk about Star Wars. So you gotta check out the Jawa Balloon. It's about like a 5-minute speeder ride from the closest outpost. Maybe a little bit less than that actually. So I would highly recommend taking the time to just go and see what it has there. Guys, coming in here at number 3, we have the Broken Bridge area here in Alderaan. Now this takes place, so you can find this essentially dead center, like in the middle, kind of more towards the Republic side than the Imperial. You can get there through various speeder locations, and it's just a beautiful sight. Like the screenshot potential here is almost unrivaled. It's really cool that in Star Wars The Old Republic, you don't get this in a lot of MMOs, there's a lot of verticality to the maps here, at least to the beginning ones, going from levels 1 to 50. You really get a sense of scale and a sense of depth. You can take a taxi all the way up onto the bridge because there are enemies up there you can fight. I believe there's also another Datacron location or some achievement up there, but it's just cool to look down, and basically you can see the back half of the Organa base over the mountain, and then after that, if you were able to like go through the whole way, you would basically be reaching the Organa base on the Republic side. All of these locations can be reached whether you're Imperial or Republic, and it's just a really cool area to meet in. There were a lot of PvP battles that took place here back in the 2010s, and some RP events that I also took place in. We actually had some of our guild meetings here for the Last Horizon and Unmasked Rebellion. We had them right up here. We cleared out all the mobs, and we just had an in-game guild meeting, and it was a great spot. It's a very beautiful place to just look out and see Alderaan. And again, as I said with Tatooine, Alderaan is one of the most iconic planets in all of Star Wars mythos, and it's just really cool to still be able to travel on its surface as a player, as a character, all of these years later. There aren't any other Star Wars games that really allow you to do the things that you can do here in the Old Republic. A lot of great screenshot potential too. Take your guildies up there, go do the achievements, hang out, You won't be disappointed. I used to, for some reason, think we could survive the landing if we jumped down, so we would often like try to race and see who could get down to the bottom. It was stupid because we know how games work, but I spent a lot of time here, and it's very peaceful. Turn on the music and just watch, just look and hang out. It's a really good time. Coming in at number 3, we have the Nightmare Lands on Voss. Now guys, Voss is the planet that everyone needs to go to just to sit and look at. It is the most beautiful example of what an autumn planet would look like. I'm not really like a fall guy, but if I was, I would be if this planet existed in real life. I would spend a lot of my time on Voss. It's beautiful, but the Nightmare Lands just give such an eerie tone, and I remember playing through this the very first time on my bounty hunter and legitimately being kind of freaked out. I was 14 years old and it was a whole nother experience. They did a really good job of making it seem like it was the Nightmare Lands. For any of you Imperial Agent fans out here, like, you know, like this is where like the Shining Man went through all of his stuff, and it's so cool that these places still bring back these types of memories and emotions. And I actually have been playing on various characters recently, just going through the class stories again with various guilds that I've been joining along the way, and just reliving the wonderful time that I had here. And it's cool. It's dark, it's kind of haunted, and you can get a lot of cool screenshots. Everything is here. Like there's absolutely something here for everyone. The storylines that get run through here, whether it's the main story or some of the bonus series and the side quests, I highly recommend you do if you haven't been able to try that yet. And then guys, coming in here at number 2, it definitely could be number 1, but I think you'll understand why I picked number 1 the way I did when we talk about it. But this is in Belsavis. This is over in the tomb in the magma center. Belsavis, guys, is one of the biggest planets in all of Star Wars: The Old Republic. You can get lost so easily. I still get lost on Belsavis. And if any of you haven't seen my Remembering SWTOR series, this is what I specifically reference when I'm talking about me on my bounty hunter doing like some RP event with a friend, and they were a Sith. And I was obviously hunting them down, and I would spend a couple hours here looking for them. And it just brought back all of the memories of me and my friend Chums just having a blast, you know, exploring this great like planet prison. And it doesn't really feel like a prison as you get to the later portions of the map, especially like what you're seeing here on the screen. There's so much beauty and awe, especially with the Rakata statues and the way of life here. Like this brings you even to things like, you know, the Eternity Vault, like all sorts of really lore rich areas that just make everything come full circle. And if I had to describe this place in one word, it would just be like ominous. Like this particular spot just feels ominous. The creatures that are around, and again, if you're an Imperial Agent, you'll be here a little bit more, but it's such a cool place. Like the lava going around, the Rakata statues and the Dreadmaster stuff is just a few like miles away, if you will, and it's just a great place. It's cool. Half of it's covered in snow, the other half is lava. Like what more could you ask for? And then guys, number 1, we have the original space for the PvP on Ilum. This is why I chose this particular one to be number 1. You all know, if you've watched me before, I'm a huge PvPer. If not, welcome. I love PvP. It's what I am the best at, but I spent days here. Even during New Gree events, I still see if there's anyone who comes out here. I'll park a character, I'll sit here for an hour or two, and I'll just see if anyone comes out here. And I haven't seen anyone in a while, but this was what it was like before this new stuff over the last 7 to 8 years. Like this was where it happened. You see the bodies on the ground. There's literally a codex entry with the lantern, with the torch, and it's just a symbol of what SWTOR used to be. and I can't help but feel really nostalgic for this place, because not only was it the site of the beginning PvP, but it was essentially the end spot. Ilum was the end planet once you were done with Chapter 3 of your story. You would always wind up on Ilum, furthering the Empire's needs or the Republic's efforts for whatever story you found yourself playing. And I remember getting to Ilum and unlocking the Ilum gear and the various things that were only attainable on Ilum. And I just wish that they still made planets like that have incentive to come back and visit, because I feel like the best parts of Star Wars: The Old Republic have now been lost to time. And I know I've been on a nostalgic kick for the last month, but even making the video stuff today and going back to all of these places, I just I just end up feeling so grateful that I got to experience all of this when I did as a teenager, getting to just experience everything with friends and people that I still have these long time, friendships with. Like, I'll never forget the times that I had here, even in the New Gree area, right, where I was just, sitting around and killing people in the contested area. Like, that was always fun. But this Ilum spot here just has me. Like, it just, not to be like all mushy gushy, but like it has my heart, so to speak, and I don't think I could ever replace it. But guys, those are the top 5 locations that I think everyone should at least visit in Star Wars: The Old Republic. Let me know your tier list if you have one. I would love to hear it down in the comment section. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Noble, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.